What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the best show in the world. That's right here. It's Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason. As always, make sure you're beating a shit out of that like button and sending us out into that YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for, my friends. Make sure you get that subscribe button clicked real soon. If you're not watching it now, you can watch it later once it uploads. But hey, we are diving in. And how does somebody commit career? Basically just squash their career. How does that happen? That's the question. How does that happen for somebody to make up a story? How do people even follow these clowns on Twitter? How does anybody even go out there and hit a follow button? How could you bring yourself to do that when they make up stories that would never even happen? That don't even make sense. And start a shitstorm. Start a media circus. Oh, wait. That's why they did it, to start a media circus. But hey, we are going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about that person. Well, we won't mention their name because I won't give them any free shout-outs here on this channel. But we will talk about the tweet and what that has sent shockwaves through the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base. And we're going to continue to dive in about all things Steelers, all things NFL, and really dive in here today. What's up, Daniel Warman in the house? DJ Reed? Yeah, man. I would like to have DJ Reed. He's an interesting defensive back. Definitely this offseason. We'll see what happens. But definitely that wouldn't be something that I'd be opposed to. Now, do I think that they would go out there? Yeah, if they got a chance to get somebody like that, they probably would. It's just circumstance, the chance. And I hate to say, yeah, they would or yeah, they wouldn't, because tonight I'm going to talk about something that somebody said that didn't make much sense, but yet sent shockwaves. Za Curry in the house. What absolute clowns. Aiming for an overpaid quarterback, losing 2 important draft picks. You can't miss me with that. Yeah, they're not going to do it. It was an absolute ridiculous thing, Za, that was said about one Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars. A story that was absolutely, completely fabricated in somebody's head. A story that had absolute no bearing or no backing, nothing sensible about it. It never, ever happened. It doesn't make sense. The Jacksonville Jaguars, one, don't want to just restart without any quarterback, especially when you're bringing in a new head coach. I don't think that would be the case. Considering this, they would have to eat a shit ton of dead cap money. You don't want to put a guy that's coming into your franchise as a new head coach. You don't want to put him behind the 8 ball with what? Being behind in the cap instantly in a big, big way, and being down that quarterback that actually was probably one of the few bright spots of your team. That you could really build around, to be honest. So, yeah, you don't want to do that at all. What's Daniel Barry? What's up? Hey, yo. Another Anthony Palmer. Happy Thursday, Steeler fans. Happy Thursday, Anthony. Good to see you downtown John Broadway in the house. Do we really have a chance in getting Trevor Lawrence? Really? Clickbait? Absolute clickbait. It was never a story. And if you read the thumbnail, what I put in there, who makes this shit up? Who even comes up with this shit? I know, these clowns on Twitter that act like they know something about sports. It's one thing to do what I do. I don't sit here and act like I know everything about sports. I don't. I'm not going to act like I do. I'm not going to act like I had inside information that I don't possess. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my analysis of when I break down the team personally, what I'm seeing, what I think they could do. But in no way, shape, or form would I ever go out there and tweet that the Pittsburgh Steelers had communications with a franchise in order to gain their franchise quarterback via trade and act like that it was some sort of inside information that you possessed. How to commit career, I don't want to say it on here because I'll get demonetized, but you get where I'm going at. How do you destroy your career? Right there. That's how you do it. This guy, it's like Big Ten hoops. I don't know. He got all this different shit, PGA, golf. I don't know. But he should really check himself. If he ever wants to come onto the show, you have an open invitation. Actually, I might just message him on Twitter and be like, why don't you come onto the show? He probably don't have his messages open. You know, he's probably one of those people. Excuse me. man, I feel like I got like some sort of allergic reaction going on today. I just felt like that. I've been like this for about an hour now. I made chicken and used all these spices, and now I'm like all stuffy. But anyway, I feel like the older I get, the more like allergic I get to shit. My wife actually was like breaking out with something. We were trying to figure out if it was like laundry soap or something. It's like crazy. The older you get, guys, I'm telling you. It's crazy. But we are going to dive into that. And also, last night, I forgot, we're going to talk about that person that did that tweet. We're going to talk about that and some of the realistic expectations at quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because this is NFL silly season, my friends. You're going to get a lot of misinformation. You're going to get a lot of bullshit. And again, come to Mike Drop Sports. You're not going to get fed bullshit. I'm not going to give you fake shit. And honestly, I don't really talk about too much shit until I know it to be 1000% true. And that's not saying I know somebody again on the inside. It's just saying that I have sources out there in terms of people that give media, that give little tidbits here and there that I trust that are usually right. But I don't even go off of what they just say. I kind of take the overall picture. Because there's a little bit of truth in almost everything. Not everything, but almost everything. And I piece it together and I try to formulate my own opinions. And until I feel absolutely 1000% comfortable with talking about something, I don't even bring it up unless somebody else does. Yes, Mark Malone, it was. It just burns my ass. And the longer I do this, the longer I come on here and try to talk to you guys, the longer we sit here as a group, as a collective group. It's not just Jason preaching at you. We're a collective group. We're talking football. We're like a bunch of buddies hanging out in a bar bullshitting, man. That's what we do. And that's what the longer I do this, the more irritated I get with bullshit reporting, the more irritated I get with lies that are spread to the fan base, because we live in an age of information everywhere at your fingertips so quickly, so fast, but yet people are going to believe some of this. I could do that, guys. I could go on to Twitter right now and I could guarantee you, and I've never done this, I could go on there and make up a bunch of random hot topics until one of them stuck and literally went viral. That's what I could do. I could do that. I could make up enough random shit that something would stick. I could guess enough that something would stick, and that one day I would be absolutely right about my random crazy take that I made up out of thin air, and all of a sudden my shit would blow up. Everybody would be following. Everybody would be subscribing. Is that the kind of shit you want to? No. Nah. Some of these people just don't care about their image, I guess. Let's keep going. Sue Hammer, what's up? How are you? Why is it all sabotage based on hypothesis and rhetoric? I don't know, downtown. These people are just nuts. They just make up random shit, man. I don't get how they have that much time on their hands. I have enough time. I have a hard enough time trying to decipher the truth rather than to play into the bullshit. Hello, everybody. Have a great day. It's almost the weekend, but Steelers best Steeler chat. Thanks, Zod. J-Man09. Bro, this guy is exactly what I'm looking for. Well, what's up, J-Man? Downtown. So I'm just going to hang back tonight. But hey to all yins, and have a great night, yins. Well, downtown, we always appreciate you having being here, brother. Zah says, I think I know who you're referring to. The guy actually gets to ask Mike Tomlin questions, but they do have crazy clickbait. It has to be part of their success, but yeah, keep it real. One guy I trust is one guy that got fired last year from The Athletic, and that is Mark Cabali. I wish I could have Mark Cabali on the show. He's another one I don't think really has his messages open, so I couldn't get in there. I've tried to tweet at him, but he didn't answer. But he now is associated with the Pat McAfee show as a correspondent for them with the Steelers. But I do trust what he says. He doesn't make clickbait type shit. This guy isn't even like an AFC North or an AFC guy that does this. He's like Big Ten hoops and shit like that. Just some random fucking Joe Schmo that got 21,000 followers on Twitter. Explain that shit to me. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But you know what? There's so many of those accounts on Twitter. There's all these ones like Justin Fields beta, Pickens beta, Pickettsburg, Justin Fieldsburg, all these weirdos that act like they know all this shit about football and like literally will put out these bold random statements belittling the fan base, acting like they're all idiots, acting like you don't know anything, and literally people follow this shit. But that just tells you the kind of society we live in. People love turmoil. What's up? Clip it cool. You look like season. I don't know what that means. I have no clue. Luke, thoughts on Calvin Austin this year and thoughts on Roman Wilson's spot on the team next year. Roman Wilson will be a guy on the football team, absolutely. He needed this year. It's like we saw with Calvin, where he suffered that injury with his foot injury, and he wasn't able to participate, and basically, climbed onto the scene with Kenny Pickett and that. And then coming back and really being, I think, in year 2, basically, last year or this year, a guy that could really fly. And once he got to get the reps, you started to see the growth. And I think Calvin Austin is a career 3-4 type guy, depending on who's at the top of the list, depending on who's in that room. Is there an injury? He slides up one. He's now like a 3. But a 3-4 type guy. He's going to be a career guy like that, but that doesn't mean anything bad. That means that Calvin can still contribute in a big, big way. And I look for even better things from Calvin Austin in 2025. And I don't want people to shy away from Calvin Austin due to his size and things of that nature. They're going to figure it out with Calvin, hopefully. But Calvin's going to figure it out too. And you started to see that last year. And I think Calvin, with his speed, I feel like if he could work on that precision route running ability, really get good at that, I think that's something that could be special for him and give him a lot more targets. Also, if they can figure out how to drag him underneath, get him out in space, and allow him to utilize his speed, that could be another real weapon for the Steelers if they could throw across the middle ever. Things of that nature, those quick slants that go for 80. That could be Calvin's role, that splash play every couple weeks to where you see Calvin just rip one off for a big one, big tutty. Roman, I think, is going to be a guy that is similar. I don't think he's going to be a 1 or 2, but I think he'll be a 3-4 type guy. His size limits him a little bit, but I think you're going to start to see him next year get into his own. I think you'll see him get some reps. By no means his injury did not spell the end of Roman Wilson. You will see him, in my opinion, and I think he's going to have a productive career. It's just getting that career going. And again, health, barring health, but Roman Wilson's going to probably be the number 3 on this roster, and probably number 4 in 2025. Calvin will probably be that 3, and then they'll probably bring in another guy, and barring what they do with George Pickens, that'll be your 1, and then somebody else, unless it's somebody bigger name than George comes in, that'll be your 1-2 top. Calvin Austin 3, Roman Wilson 4. So those two will be interchangeable, and depending on who they bring in, maybe the 1-2 will be interchangeable, and that should be really exciting for the Steelers, because then you could get a 5th guy that is real dynamic, real big-bodied, somebody that's like a monster in there, I think that's what you would need, a real possession-type guy, a guy that can come in and catch anything. Like, who I really like to see, actually, now that we're talking about receivers? I would love to see Ben Skoranek get more reps and be that guy, that Swiss Army knife, as Mike Tomlin always likes to say. That's who I want Ben Skoranek to be. That guy that can just do it all, comes in, plays special teams, contributes on the offense. I think you can see that out of Ben. I really do. I'm really got high hopes for Ben Skoranek. What? Oh, I thought I had a kid knocking on the door, asking me something. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. Bill Bow. We have Steelers here in the UK. Sheffield Steelers. Awesome, man. Welcome from the UK there, Bilbo. Yes, Steelers 626. What's up, my Steelers fam? Good Thursday to you all. Well, welcome. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Mark Malone. I want to see Skoranek force a few more fumbles and kicks. Love the show, bro. Listening from Cali. Thank you, man. From California, Steelers 626. Yeah, Mark, I would love to see that versatility from Ben Skoranek again, man. I really have high hopes for him. I feel like he's going to be a real chain mover eventually. inside of his career. I think he showed a lot of promise, man. He's not afraid of being hit. He's not afraid to block. He's not out there looking for statistics. He's just out there looking to play ball. And I don't know how you don't like what Ben Skoranek brings in terms of his versatility with the special teams and playing offense. He can be effective in the run game. Again, that's big for a wide receiver that's really willing to sacrifice their body to be a big-time blocker downfield. Most of these wide receivers are divas. They take plays off. They don't block downfield. They play half-ass if they ain't getting the football. Yeah, but not Ben. Ben played like, man, I'm not even going to dare say it, but man, he gave me Hines Ward type vibes. Why? Because he's just tough. He's out there playing ball. Let's just hope that he develops into something like that. But he gave me those vibes, man. Let's keep going. Will Steelers use a mid-round pick on a quarterback? I think the answer is yes. We were talking about it, actually, Mark and I, a couple shows ago, or even last night maybe, talking about, a mid-round pick, and even some said go out there and grab two. That's a possibility, again, guys, because of how this quarterback market's going to look in free agency. And if you're Justin Fields, are you willing and wanting to come back to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you trust this coaching staff enough to put the right schematics in place to make you successful? Do you trust the front office staff to get you enough weapons in free agency during the draft and things of that nature? Do you have enough faith in the Steelers on Justin Fields' part? And are the Steelers going to be competitive in this Justin Fields market? Those are going to be the questions. And if you're the Steelers, why go out there and look for one of these older quarterbacks? I think it doesn't make any sense. And I think mid-round quarterbacks I'd rather start a mid-round rookie than go out there and get one of these aging veterans and give away high-value draft capital, give away a boatload of cap space for it. I would rather play with one of these rookies that literally are boom or bust type guys, go out there, save my high-value draft capital, try to flop that into the next year if need be, give that rookie a chance, minimize the salary cap hit in the quarterback room, and try to really start to build this roster. And then you would know, are you a quarterback away? Do we have the roster in place? Because right now the Steelers aren't a quarterback away. I heard that bullshit today, and we're going to talk about that real quick. Let me get a drink. I heard something today on a show that I want to talk about. Mike Florio was on a show on 93.7 The Fan, his weekly radio spot in Pittsburgh. And he seemed to be pretty adamant about that the Pittsburgh Steelers were the team that if you're a free agent or if you're a quarterback that's older and you're looking for a place to go that is tailor-made to win, to be a competitor, to be highly competitive inside of the playoffs. I think that's baseless. I don't think that he's a fan of the team. I just think that he's got his fan hat on there. I don't think that he's really recognizing some of the issues that surround this football team. They're not just a quarterback away. They got to do so many other things, and that's where all these off-season silly rumor mill bullshit about all these quarterbacks, the Matthew Staffords, the Aaron Rodgers, the Trevor Lawrence fake news, anything surrounding any type of big-name guy that's later in their career or, highly unobtainable because you would have to give up so damn much for it. Why even talk about that shit? Because it's not worth doing. And if you're the Steelers, it's a stupid mistake, man. It is a stupid, stupid, stupid mistake. And if Mike Tomlin, if Omar Khan, if the Rooney family, if they are under the illusion that this team is just one piece away from being a winner, they're dumb. They're absolutely fucking insane, my friends. And it just makes you wonder what the hell they're even talking about inside of that building. What are they watching? Are they watching the same film as we are? I mean, I don't understand it. All right, guys, I need you to double tap that screen, hit that like button for us here on Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. Again, double tap that screen, hit that like button, support the show that way. Also, super chats are always open. That's a surefire way to get your comment read quickly. So go ahead. Super chats are always open. Also, there's other ways to support the channel inside of our channel description on the channel page. So you can go in there and check that out. Let's continue back with the chat. We did that. Man, was hoping Roman was the next Puka. I still have high hopes for him, man. I do. Steelers 626. A Puka Nakua replica would be awesome. Absolutely freaking awesome. But I think Roman Wilson will be definitely a very serviceable guy here moving forward. Za said, did you see the mock draft where we got a running back first and a quarterback second? What a joke. JJ. Yeah, guys, they're going after. They're not going to draft a running back probably in the first round. I don't see that happening. I could see somebody in the defense. I could see maybe even another offensive lineman to add some depth. I could see that. Maybe a guard. Maybe they go guard. I don't know. I could see several other things other than running back because I don't think you have to reach for a running back in the first round of the draft. I think you can find a running back without that. Again, what about bringing in a guy like a Nick Chubb, somebody like that, to run with Jaylen Warren and keep the salaries down a little bit? I don't know. I think there's options. I think there's other options. And again, they need a nose tackle. They need some defensive front help. They need some defensive back help, especially at the cornerback position, in my opinion. I think you've got to get Joey Porter Jr. a real stud running mate. I think it's an absolute must. I didn't think Dante Jackson played bad, but the physical style of football that the Steelers like to play sometimes, I think, took a toll on Jackson's health. I don't know. I would love to see a more big-bodied, physical guy to run alongside Joey Porter Jr. And also, I'm a big advocate for trading Minkah Fitzpatrick this offseason. And I know some people may think I'm crazy, but I think Minkah Fitzpatrick should be tops on the list of a guy that you should think about trading. I really do. I think him and George Pickens would be excellent trade candidates. I think you could get a definite return on your investment with both of those players, and I think you could really make some major additions by a couple subtractions doing that type of move. I really do. I think it puts you in a place of where you have a lot of tools at your disposal to rebuild this roster up a little bit and to maybe cut some of the fat. Let's keep going. Yeah, Ben can be that. Let me do the dirty work player. Yeah, I love that kind of guy, man. I love that type of player. Matt Burton need to find this year's Brock Purdy. That'd be awesome, Matt. Zach Curry, Roman Wilson will make noise this year. I think so. Daniel Warman in the house says, the problem with Tomlin is he has no faith in Fields. You can have the best roster, but bad coaching will tear the team down. Yeah, this is a 4-phase game, guys, and you don't hear a lot of people say that or use that term, I guess, or use that phrase. It's definitely offense, defense, special teams, and coaching, the most important phase of this game we all love. Coaching can kill you. Coaching is one of those things that you don't necessarily notice it until things start going bad, but it's definitely there, man. And coaching means so much to a roster. Look at Detroit. Look how Dan Campbell got inserted into that building and changed the whole dynamic there. And it's not just because they had a bunch of good picks. They had a bunch of good picks for years and remained shitty. But when Dan Campbell got there, he installed a culture, installed a real work ethic and a want to be part of a team. And that's what he did. And he made a big difference. All right, guys, we need you to hit that like button, man. We need to like that like button up. It is absolutely free to do so. So go ahead, hit that like button. Support your creators out there. It's absolutely free to do so. There's 3 little white dots up in the right-hand corner of your screen. For some of you, you can go ahead and hit that, and that'll bring down the like box. But liking the show and sharing the show is so important. Again, I keep this ad-free. We got to get those likes, though, to be very steady and consistent, which we do. But we got to get them going here, man, and get them hopping. So double tap that screen and hit that like button so we can continue to keep this show ad-free. Let's keep going. The problem, we did that. Level Up Trucking LLC. What up? Oh, what up? Thanks for... Oh, my God. Dude, where's a moderator when you need him? Hold on. Let me hide this user from the channel. Oh, goodbye, my friend. Goodbye. All right, I got that guy out of here. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry for the vulgar things. Robert Road in the house. They will draft a defensive lineman in the first round or a wide receiver. I'm guessing it's an 80% chance our first pick is a D line. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I would agree, probably, Robert, because that's just probably what the Steelers will do. I don't think they have to go defensive line though in this draft first round. I think they can wait. I think that could be a second or third round priority for this ball club. I don't think they have to do it in the first round. I'm all about in the first, second round, in my opinion, is getting the most dangerous skill players that you can possibly find. That's what I think you should do in terms of what direction this football team got to go in. I definitely think skill players would be where I'd be leaning. Cordell Berry, shit, bring them to Baltimore then. I don't know who you're talking about. Steelers 626, yes, bro. Ben is a hell of a blocker, special teams player, absolutely. Bro, what happened to Kansas City? They didn't look tuned in. No, they got their ass stomped, man. Definitely. Cordell Berry. I would love Pickens, Mink, or on Ravens or Texans or Panthers, Packers, but it's like they say, be careful what you wish for. I'm just talking logical shit, man. If you root for that many teams, God bless you. At least you got a lot of chances. Yeah, I would trade him to whoever. I don't care. Whoever's the highest bidder. And I'm not saying it because I think Minka's a bad person. I just think that he has lacked production, man, and it's starting to become a real serious issue when you pay somebody $18 million and you haven't had really any type of production to speak of in terms of any type of difference that he's making on this football team week in and week out. For $18 million, you need some splash plays. You need some real definite big game-turning plays out of an $18 million a year safety. And I know people will say, you don't see what Minka does all the time. I do. And people were like, oh, well, he flies down and make tackles. That's just showing you a safety shouldn't be making those tackles. That's just showing you how poorly the front end's playing at times, how poorly the schematics are laid out there at times. So, yeah, George, he just takes a lot of plays off, and he doesn't excite me. He doesn't look like a team player. He looks like he's all about George. And if he's not happy, no one's going to be happy. He's going to pout. He's going to cry. He's going to go half-ass. I don't think that that's somebody you need on a roster, in my opinion. I think if I'm building a football team, I'm looking for guys of high character, and then let's go to the skill set. Let's see what they got. But again, if you don't got guys that are on board in terms of being a team player, in terms of being unselfish, it's just somebody you don't need on the ball club. As I said, an amazing defensive line is what happened to Kansas City. No blitz, but got sacks and pressures the whole game. The type of D Tomlin thinks he has. 1,000. 1,000% true. I heard your Chubb suggestion yesterday and wasn't too sure, but after giving it some thought, kind of sounds like a sound idea. He can come in, smash, and be a positive leader to Jalen. Yeah, man, who better to model yourself after if you're a running back like Jalen Warren in the position that he's in than a guy like Nick Chubb, a guy that can come in and really show you how to be a real, true monster at the running back position in terms of vision, in terms of those quick feet, just the way he really hits the hole in a crisp manner. It's just awesome to watch Nick Chubb run. And I definitely think it would be a great addition to the Steelers' backfield. Yes, man, that like button doesn't bite, guys, so go ahead and double tap that screen, man. That is the only reason that I keep this show ad-free. Again, man, we need those likes. They're absolutely free, man. You don't pay for them at all. So go ahead, hit it. It is definitely something that's easy to do. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Right here is the place to be here at Mike Drop Sports. I cannot pronounce your name. Miranda is the last part of your name. Do you think the Broncos will ever be able to compete for the AFC division? You mean the conference? Because they have been having quarterback issues since Peyton Manning. I think so. I think that Sean Payton will have that team competing for championships. Will it be conference championships? I don't know if that's in the cards right away here. But you never know, man. You never know. You never know. Are they going to be a competitive team? I think so. Robert Rhodes says they will draft 2 defensive linemen in the first 4 rounds. Look at how Philly is built. Andy is first and foremost known for his evaluations of linemen. This is very easy to predict. O-line heavy last 2 years. Yeah, definitely that was very easy to predict because they had so many issues inside of the offensive line. So no doubt that was easy to predict. I too said that last year at the draft. I thought for sure it was going to be a tackle of some sort, offensive lineman, no doubt. And look, first 2 picks, you had Zach Frazier and Troy Fautanu. Not in that order. Troy Fautanu, then Zach Frazier, which I thought Zach Frazier was an absolute steal. He's the best center in that draft. We said that all year, all summer, that he was the best before the draft. We said it too. I cannot believe still that they were lucky enough to get him. I believe 55 or 52, something like that, maybe even 50. I can't remember the exact number, but definitely. I just don't think that burning 2 picks straight in a row, man, I don't know. I think you could get those defensive linemen if they do what you're talking about, Robert, in the first 4 rounds. I'm okay with it. Like third, fourth, second, fourth, something like that. If they break it up, that's cool. And I could see that happening. I definitely could see that happening. And again, I could see a later guy on the offensive line somewhere. I could see that too happening. And I know people will be like, not another offensive lineman, but guys, even with what Robert said about the defensive line, what I'm talking about offensively and defensively, it's all one in the trenches. And if you don't have a good line, you don't have a good defensive front, and you don't have a good offensive line, nothing works, and it doesn't matter. So again, the Steelers are in a prime position, especially on the offensive line in terms of what they have there. I think they have a real star-studded group here that's going to be very young and very good here before too long. It may be this year and it might be 2026. I'm just telling you, they're going to be very young and very good. But the defensive line, it needs some help. Keanu Benton's a little bit out of position usually. Cam Hayward's not young, but he played really well this season. But you could see that it started wearing down on him a little bit. He needs somebody to come in there and be that true nose tackle and take a lot of the snaps away from him. Allow Keanu to play more of that defensive tackle, his natural spot consistently, not trying to be that nose type position. You need guys like Mon Adams to come in, maybe add some more depth there. You need to maybe trim the fat from Larry Ogunjobi, get some of that salary off the books. And draft maybe a young stud. And it is true. You saw what Philly did. Where did they go in the last few drafts, guys? That was that defensive line, and they loaded up on it. They got some stars, and it showed in that Super Bowl, and it won them that Super Bowl. That defensive front of Philadelphia was the difference. That was the reason they won that Super Bowl. No doubt about it. I'm not discounting what Jalen Hurts and that offense did. I'm not discounting that at all. But if you got down to the nuts and bolts of it, that is why they won that Super Bowl. Their offensive line was rather effective. They controlled a good Kansas City defense and controlled them very, very well. And that defensive front for Philadelphia was absolutely outstanding. And if you're a Steelers fan, you better hope that they go and get all these players along these trenches. Donald Loudon back in the house. Jason joining late. Any truth to Lawrence story? No, none at all. It's an absolute farce. It's an absolute shitty story. Whoever, the guy that put it out there, I'm going to message him and we'll see. I hope somebody shares this show to that guy. You can cut this clip. I welcome you to come on this show because I have to know how making up bullshit makes you feel. How do you feel about lying to the fan base? How do you feel about lying to NFL fans just for clicks? Where do you come up with this shit? I challenge you to come on to this show. I would really love to hear what you have to say. I'm not going to try to dog you or embarrass you, but I just want to ask you the real questions. What would make you make this shit up? Why would you sit there and try to act like you have sources that you don't have? Why would you act like they're doing something that you know damn well they're not? And everybody that's closely connected to this football team absolutely came out and said right away that that was absolute horseshit lie. Why do you do it? I would love you to come on the show and talk with us about it. We are razor thin on D-line. I agree, Robert. It is something that has to be addressed. Absolutely, man. Trevor Hottinger and Tim Hottinger. Do you like Ohio State Buckeyes and Cincinnati Bengals and Reds, New York Yankees? And do you have... Man, come on, bro. I can't even answer that question. That was kind of stupid. Miranda, in terms of quarterback picks, who are the best 5 quarterbacks in the game right now? And again, sorry, Miguel, Miranda, I can't pronounce the other parts of your name, so I apologize. I don't want to butcher them. But again, I'll answer your question here in terms of the best quarterbacks right now in the game. One is still Patrick Mahomes, despite the quarterback loss. Guys, he is the best quarterback in the league. Who else that I really, really, really like? I think Justin Herbert's a stud just because I like his skill set, and I think the Chargers are going to end up being a very, very good. I like him. He's probably one of my favorites, and I know they haven't had the success to correlate him yet into that top 5 conversation. Man, it's hard for me to pick these top 5 guys because I don't really like the running style quarterback right now. I want a pocket passer guy. But as far as Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's an elite quarterback, but I think he's a winner, and I think he's good, and I think he belongs inside of that top 5, wherever that may be. I'm not going to rank him in there. I think he deserves to be in there, though. So you got Pat. I like Justin Herbert. You got Jalen Hurts. I think Lamar Jackson is a good athlete, but I don't think he's in the top 5 in terms of the quarterback position in my eyes. I think Josh Allen's showing that, he's kind of like Lamar. Can't win a big game, and that's becoming worrisome. So he's probably at the tail end of that top 5 for me. He's a guy that is flirting with dropping out of it until he wins a big one. You got to win a big game, just like Lamar. You got to win some big games, and if you can't win any big games, you're not in the top 5. That's just my opinion. Who else do I like? That was like 4 or 5. And I like CJ Stroud. I like CJ Stroud a lot. I think his intangibles and what he brings to the table are exciting. And let's not forget Joe Burrow, probably the second best quarterback in this league, in my opinion. So you got Pat, Joe. That's probably the top 2. Then for me, I'm just going off a skill set and what I really like to see inside of a quarterback. And no particular order. You got Jalen Hurts. You got Justin Herbert. You got C.J. Stroud. You could put Lamar and Josh Allen outside sniffing that top 5 a little bit. And again, what it all boils down for me is wins and producing big game wins. And that's just where I'm at. And it's really hard for me to sit and praise somebody that's not won anything, that's not done anything in terms of accomplishments. Individual accomplishments, that's fine and dandy, but this isn't an individual game. This is the ultimate team sport. And that's, again, how I gauge everything, is what do you do for the team? Do you uplift your team enough that they are in position to win? And do they win these big moments? Are they getting things done? And that's just where I'm at with it, guys, and I know that may not make sense, and sometimes I try to talk myself out of it, and go off of these just statistics alone and things of that nature, and I could do that, and I could regurgitate a bunch of bullshit, but I really put a lot of thought into it, and I really look at all the intangibles, That's just kind of where I am. I don't want to ramble on about it, but that's kind of like my favorites. Daniel Warman, what will the Steelers do if Fields signs with another team? They're going to resort to probably playing with either a 3rd, 4th round type rookie quarterback, or they're going to go out and they're going to bring in some old head that is just going to be there. Maybe they lean on a Skylar Thompson, the only quarterback on their roster. I don't know. I don't think I would worry about it too much if I were the Steelers, because honestly, this draft, you're not getting anybody probably of significance. Maybe in 2026, you put yourself in the position to where you can go get it done. Again, do the best you can and heavily pursue Fields is what I think they should do, and draft somebody and hope it sticks and hope for the best. Dakota says Pittsburgh pick all next year. I don't know what that meant, bro. Jonathan Newell, rumors are the Browns are trading for Trevor Lawrence, the number 2 pick. All lies, buddy. They're not. Nobody's trading him. He's not being traded, Jonathan. Do not click on that stuff. These are lies. You got to find reputable people to only click on them, because literally, guys, you're getting a lot of silly season right now. A lot of it. And you're going to hear these rumors, and they're going to get more and more crazy as time goes on until free agency's over. Which free agency hasn't even started yet. I don't even know when the legal tampering period begins. I feel like they're talking to people already. I feel like all these bullshits of, oh, you can't talk, it's not legal tampering period. They have these deals in place, man. I can tell you. Yeah, well, good for him, West Philly Black. You never know. They might. They have the best roster right now. Zoc Curry, Kenny Pickett, the guy who contributed nothing, still awarding. Yeah. Getting a participation trophy is all well and good. It don't excite me none. And congratulations to Kenny, man. Hey, you cried. You got your way out. You went from being the franchise quarterback of a team, being picked number 20 overall in the first round, to being Jalen Hurts' backup that's not going to see the field. I mean, hey, if that's the career path you chose it, man. Enjoy yourself. Not of this earth, but still alive. I don't know what that meant. Bro, it's all scam. Steelers 626. Pickens hasn't even made his bones to act like a pouty little kid. At least Antonio Brown was the best for a good 4 or 5 year stretch. Absolutely. Everybody wants to anoint George Pickens as the next great wide receiver in this league, the number 1 guy. He's not done enough. The guy had 3 fucking touchdowns in 2024. Does that excite you? It don't excite me. And guys, you can blame it on the quarterback. You can blame it on the scheme. You can blame it on the offensive line. You can blame it on a million and one things. But if you got a player that plays half-ass football and only goes full speed when he knows it's coming to him, it's a 50-50 ball that he knows is coming to him, that's the results you're going to get. A game here, a game there. He's going to have flashes, but he's never going to be consistent. T-Money. I bet Schittsburg drafts a punter for their first draft. Yeah, man, that's probably great, T-Money. I mean, that's pretty good. Robert Road. Larry O is likely gone. Adams is a backup, and he is 30 years old. Lowry is probably gone in 30 plus. Loudermilk is nothing more than a backup and may not even make the team. Benton and Cam then. Yeah, you're kind of screwed. That's why you do got to load up there. Absolutely. Free agency is going to be key. Maybe there's a trade option out there that could be key. Draft has to be a place you dig in for those guys. Definitely, they have a real need for a defensive front. We were doing some shows a while ago. And we were with Penn Live's Nick Faribault, and he talked about how he thought the Pittsburgh Steelers had a top 3 offensive or defensive front in 2024. And when we read that list, I don't know if I agree totally. Maybe the statistics said so. I don't know. But moving into this year, I don't think I would agree now. Definitely. So he did say that he thought that was the case. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks right now. I don't. They got to make some moves. I do pray, Dakota. Yes. Josh Allen has never beat Joe Burrow. Patrick Queen gets $17 million to miss tackles. Yeah, he didn't have a great year. I'll give him, though, his first year as the green dot, as the guy that in the middle that's playing a really tough position, especially inside of the Steelers defense. They ask those guys to do a lot. And I know a lot of people don't really realize that. They just see the missed tackles and stuff, and that's okay. But they ask him to do a lot of shit. And I think that's a position that'll take a year or two. And for the first year, I wasn't heavily disappointed, but I wasn't impressed. I thought he could have played a lot better. Where the real litmus test is going to be with me with Patrick Queen is year two and how he is able to attack this. Is he able to get a little bit better? Is he able to make things and right this ship in 2025? That's going to be the real answer for me there, the real litmus test. Raiden MK, honestly, I like Hurts because he isn't rattled. He wins regardless of stats. He wins. That's why I love him too. Like I love him because of that reason too, Raiden. Absolutely. I don't care about stats. I want one. I only care about one stat, and that's wins. Wins and losses. Those are the only ones I give two shits about. If you can win ball games, I don't care if you put 300 yards up a game. I just want you to come in there, not be rattled, not have your cage shook, man. I want you to come in there, make a big play when you need to. I don't give a shit if you throw for 4 touchdowns. I just care about, did you get a win? Did you keep your offense calm? Were you guys able to make the plays when you needed to make the plays? Were you able to drive down the field and get that field goal when need be? Those are the questions I ask. Again, I don't care if you throw for 5,000 yards and you run for another 1,200, you score 5, 6 touchdowns on the ground, you throw for 15 or 16. Great. Do you win the big one? Do you win games when it matters? That's the question. That's the test. That's the answer you're looking for. No, I don't believe so. Sergio, NFL and NBA? No. Steelers, Eagles, Super Bowl. I'd love it. American sports. Yeah, it would be fun. I think so too, Raiden. I only watch kickboxing and MMA. Well, congratulations, Will T. That's good for you, buddy. I hope you enjoy your sports you like. Amir, how do you feel about George Pickens being traded? I would trade him, man. What's up, sleeping lady in the house? Hold on, I gotta look and ban somebody. All right, we got rid of another one, man. We're dropping them like flies tonight. Sleeping lady, I think Lawrence is a sellout. I swear last year when he hurt that ankle, he literally stood up on that same ankle. I don't know if something's off with him. Like Dak shows up well at times. Yeah, again, I don't know enough about him in terms of that kind of stuff, his intestinal fortitude. But again, that was a lie that was made. Trevor Lawrence won't be coming. I just put it in the thumbnail with the other picture that's in the thumbnail besides my own is the guy that made that tweet, is the guy that made up that story. So go ahead and blow him up, blow his messages up and ask him why he's a liar. Blow him up on Twitter, ask him why he's a liar. But I guess that would just help him out. So maybe not. But if you follow that guy, he has 21,000 followers. You probably should discontinue that subscription. That probably isn't something you want to be listening to. Doug P. in the house. People pay way too much attention to stats. There's more to the game than stats. Absolutely, Doug. Absolutely, Doug. I agree, man. Absolutely. I'm going to pin your comment, Doug, because I like that comment a lot. Daniel Warman's, I hate to say it, but you're right. Got to give credit where it's due. When people do a good job, let them know so they know how to keep on the right track. That dude is a crumb bum. Daniel Warman got to run. Thanks. See you, Daniel. Have fun, buddy. Doug, Steelers suck. Yeah, right now they kind of do. All right, guys, we got to beat the shit out of that like button. Let's get some more of you to double tap that screen. It's absolutely free to do so. Double tap, hit that like, get us going here. Continue to support us with likes and shares. That is definitely something you can do. It's absolutely free. When the troll was actually right. I don't know which one you were talking about. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, Zah. All right, guys, let's keep going. Go Niners from Italy. That's from Luca. All you people that are from overseas, is the NFL like really huge overseas? Like, do you guys are you all into it overseas? I know there's a guy that I know that's Australian. He does a podcast about the Steelers. But do you get enough exposure over there? You know what I mean? Do you see it enough? to really be in love with it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just asking because I'm just curious. I'm not like saying anything bad about it. I'm just curious of how much you guys really get to watch it and how big the fan bases are over there for teams. Mike Steelers trying to pick up Debo from the Niners. I don't know. I think that would be a mistake too. You're paying a lot for a guy that's not the type of player I think that you're looking for if you're the Steelers. Zaw, I think this year got a lot of global coverage. Yeah, it might have. The Steelers go to Ireland next year, so that's some more global coverage for pretty much America's most popular team, in my opinion. You go anywhere, guys. I know what stats and shit like that, but I go in my travels. I've traveled all across this country, man, and outside of it. I've traveled all across this country, though, and I got to say, the Steelers are the only team. I don't care what city I go to, what town I go to. I find some bar that's a Steelers bar. I swear, dude. There is always something Steelers in every place I go to. It's absolutely crazy. Philly for life. You need Wilson. Going to keep Fields and trade for Debo and draft a running back. Nah, doubtful. I think Fields hopefully is re-signed. I think you hopefully pick up a running back in free agency or something of that nature. I think you need to draft, though, wide receivers. Get somebody that's highly talented there and fill out that defensive front. I think that's got to be a plus. That's where I think they do. Chubba Bubba Prods. Do? What's do mean, Bo? What's that mean? You got to complete sentences here, my friend. Complete sentences. But I see you're a Browns fan, so I'm not sure if you're capable of that or not. I'm just razzing you. I'm just razzing you, dude. Don't take it personal. We got to get our digs in. It's just, I got to dig at a football team that gave away Baker Mayfield when they could have just kept him and continued to build that franchise. Instead, they went out for a super pedophile. Not a pedophile, but a pervert. Nah, I'm just messing with you, Chubba. I'm just messing with you, bro. All love here, man. I ain't busting your nuts. Lamar Jackson, 808. Ravens are better. Yeah, Ravens are a great regular season football team, man. A great regular season football team. You're absolutely right. You got Lamar Jackson. You're not going to win a big game. He's incapable. He's going to fumble. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to be happy feet back there. The schematics just are what they are with Lamar. Caw hi. Wombat, Zombat, Fly Eagles Fry was just passing by and had to say it. Well, there you go. Thank you. Doug P. Short-term contract for Fields. Give him a 2-year if he is there by the end and get rid of him. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, yay, buddy. I mean, the truth is the truth. Name one bit here. I challenge this to all people that worship Lamar Jackson. I challenge this to everybody, and I always ask them this question, and I've never got a good answer. Name one big game of significance, college or pros, that Lamar Jackson has won. I'll wait. I'll wait for you to come up with that answer. Fly, refs, fly. That's from Za. Yeah, let's hope the officiating's better next year. Derrick Henry is the MVP of the Ravens. Absolutely. You taking Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts, he can win. I take winners, man. I only take winners. And Lamar Jackson's never won anything. It's okay, Lamar Jackson 808. I'm asking you. Name one big game. This is a question I ask everybody. I'm not being a dick or anything. I'm asking you. Name one big game that Lamar Jackson has won, college or pros. Either or. If you can name one, I would be floored. Let's keep going. Yeah, I'm taking Jalen Wombat. We have another person say their name's another Wombat. They're a good supporter of the show. Robert Road. I read a few years ago that Cleveland public high schools had an 18% graduation rate. That is sad, dude. That is so sad. I hope that's changed since then, Robert, because that is an absolute travesty. Man, do we really hinder our young people in this country. Ted E. Hurts is better than Lamar. I agree. Jonathan Knoll, what do you think of Myles Garrett drama in Cleveland? I think he's on his way out for sure. He's going to figure it out. But who would want to stay there? You know what I mean? No matter who they have in place, they manage to fuck it up, you know? And that's the sad part about that franchise, and it makes you wonder where the deficiency is. In my eyes, it's in that front office and that ownership group because they screw everything up. I mean, they make the most irrational, unintelligent moves that a franchise could possibly make. I don't understand it. They could have a very clear path and they could be on a good place or going toward a good place, having things really going their way, and then they just go and they do something really, really stupid. No, bro, it's all love here. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Love talking NFL. Lag Cube versus 49ers last season to clinch the number 1 seed. That's not a big game, dude. Clinching a playoff spot is not clinching the 1 seed. That is not a big game. That is not. Big games are this: NFC, AFC championships, and the Super Bowl. College, it's national titles or an actual like playoff game or a real bowl game. Not the Huggies Diaper Bowl, not the KY Jelly Bowl, none of that bullshit. Name one real thing that Lamar Jackson has ever won. Name it. That don't count. That ain't a big game. Versus an NFC opponent. That ain't it, man. That ain't a big game to me. We get Ravens fans, so it's normal to clap back. The hate is okay. We appreciate it. Lamar is the AFC version of Dak. Zach Curry, he is just the guy who can't make it. David Henneke, we need Patrick. I'd love to have Patrick Mahomes. That'd be awesome. The official Kenny Ray Powell. I'm taking Lamar Jackson. He trashed my Steelers twice. That's what I care about. Yeah, but the official Kenny Ray Powell. What is Lamar Jackson's overall record against the Pittsburgh Steelers? It's absolutely horrible. It's absolutely embarrassing for a team that he plays twice a year. So you can't go off of 1 year. A one-off doesn't work. Who's going to be the Jets QB? I think Sam Darnold's coming back to the Jets. I don't know. Yeah. Wombat Zombat, Jalen Hurts is the first running quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I wouldn't consider Russell Wilson a running quarterback. He runs out of necessity mostly. Yes, good point, Wombat Zombat. He is the first running quarterback that won a Super Bowl. And honestly, he's the only one that has ever won a Super Bowl as a run-first type quarterback. Definitely. So I will give it to Jalen Hurts. He's the first and only run-first quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. But you know what makes you, even if you're not a Philly fan, you know what makes you support Jalen Hurts? It's the way he approaches people. The way he doesn't come off cocky. The way he really portrays being a solid teammate. The way he carries that football team on his shoulders, whether things are going bad or good. He is always there carrying that team. He never wavers. No matter whether he's getting paid no money or a bunch of money, he is always the same guy. And that's what you got to admire about Jalen Hurts. And he needs, he deserves some credit, man. He had a fantastic year. Even when things weren't going right, he managed to keep that train moving and not let the outside noise of the media disrupt what they were trying to do. Because if you guys remember, whenever there was trouble with the two wide receivers, A.J. Brown and what's his name? I slipping my mind. But anyway, he had trouble and people were trying to make a big deal out of it, and he was able to weather that storm. Little Dugan, who watched the halftime show. I did with my kids. The official Kenny Ray Powell, the Heisman Trophy. That's not a game, Kenny! It's not a game! That's an individual accolade. Foul, flag. You get a flag, Kenny. 15-yarder, my friend. Personal foul on Kenny Ray Powell. Hey, that rhymed, Kenny Ray Powell. But anyway, that's an individual accolade. We're putting individual accolades aside. Name one thing Lamar Jackson has done as part of a team that matters. Winning MVP don't mean shit. That's an individual accolade. Individual. Good coaches / teams in the playoffs figure out how to defend Lamar like we used to do. Yeah, Matt, you guys, I understand the frustrations this year. I understand it so much, and I sympathize with everybody. I get it. But the Steelers have owned Lamar Jackson. This was a one-off. He won twice this year. Very rare for Lamar Jackson to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very rare. He had one win prior to this year against the Steelers. One. Uno. One. Joe Danino. Eagles parade tomorrow. I'm going, baby. We'll enjoy yourself, Joe. Debo is favored to go to Baltimore. It don't matter who they put in that building. I mean, it really, really doesn't. They will not win a Super Bowl or an AFC championship game. One, as long as Patrick Mahomes is there, because Lamar Jackson surely can't beat Patrick Mahomes. And as long as Lamar Jackson's a Baltimore Raven, they will not win that. He is not built for that. Lamar is a phenomenal athlete, guys. I'm not discounting that. And he doesn't even seem like a bad guy. He's just not a winner at the quarterback spot in the big moments. He's not. Because he's not a tried and true big-time quarterback. He's a hell of an athlete, though. Amazing athlete. I love Jalen, too. He is a stone-cold killer, man. Wombat, Zombat. Mark Malone, man, they finally changed the rules enough for a QB like Hurts to win. Yeah, you know my feelings. I like my pocket passers, man. I want to see a surgeon out there. I want to see somebody that dissects defenses, man. What a shitty night for the like button, man. It's absolutely free. Let's get those likes up. Double tap that screen. Hit that like button. It's absolutely free here, guys. It doesn't cost you a damn thing. And it's absolutely free. I bust my ass for you guys, so make sure you hit that. I truly appreciate it. He is humble, man. He's very humble. He is. Jalen is a guy. Now, I would love to see him better as a pocket passer because that's just what I personally like in a quarterback. I want that to be their main thing. But if you're talking about image, the way he approaches the game, being a good teammate, all those things, Jalen Hurts is the spitting image of a guy that you want in your building. Abso-freaking-lutely. All right, guys, we've been going for over an hour. I just noticed that. I have some things to do. I have to go build a Valentine's box for my son for school tomorrow, so I got to get that done. So I am going to peace out of here. Don't forget, we will be back tomorrow night for our Friday show. Tomorrow night's show will be a little later, though. On Fridays, I have youth basketball practice for probably about another month with my youth team, so that I coach with my buddy Boone. So that's going to be good. And Boone said that he's going to help me with TikTok. So Boone, if you're out there, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to talk to you about that tomorrow. So maybe we'll be expanding over to there and he can help me figure that platform out and what type of content to put on TikTok. And man, big things are going to be happening here at Mike Drop Sports. So make sure you're staying tuned. Also, don't forget, let's get to that 10,000 subscriber mark. Let's go out there and you could win yourself an authentically signed TJ Watt jersey. That could be yours if you are a Mike Drop Mafia member, but we got to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark. And also, guys, again, make sure you're double tapping that screen or hitting the like button on all our content, especially the live streams, so we can keep the live streams ad-free. We need you to hit that like button. We need your support. And don't forget to share the shows. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. So until tomorrow, thank you guys. I truly appreciate it. All the love in the world, man. You guys are absolutely amazing. So we'll see you tomorrow, guys. And almost the weekend. See you on the next one.